I know you got a lot of projects going on. You know, what is like some of the biggest things that you're working on or you got going on?
Well, America Knew, the television network, getting these movies I directed and produced on linear television, the clothing line, the books and the curriculum that we made, and Dusko Goes to Space sold 60,000 books already. I guess they're all equally big. The biggest thing I got is bills.
Here's one thing I don't think anybody really pointed out. They said you were $8 million in debt, but I was thinking like you had to have made a whole bunch of money to be that. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to make millions of dollars.
When do people talk about people's tax problems? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, the state stepped up for a $2 million tax. It was $8 million with interest. I owed like 16. You know how much taxes it was? Yeah, I had accountants that I was paying millions of dollars a year that did not pay my taxes without me knowing. And the problem with the law is the accountant is not accountable. They literally, it's been several times that accountants have told me they paid my taxes and didn't. It's like they slipped the banana in the tailpipe. And by the time you realize that they didn't do what they said they're going to do, you're out of bread and you don't have enough money to get lawyered up. So, it's like, yo, my last $100,000, you think I'm spending that shit on a lawyer? I got to get back on and then I'll get back to you. So, Barry Claberg was my accountant. So when you hear that I didn't pay my taxes the year I made so much money, then you should say, what was his accountant doing? And how come his accountant is not accountable? And that's where they take advantage of younger first-generation kids in the music business, because Barry Claberg has been in the business. He knows the game. He knows the drill. They notice, let me drain him and spend all his bread and not pay his taxes or put his money to the side quarterly or do side deals, because that's what he did with Rock, where he took $1 million off my deal. I didn't even know it. They do you dirty. And, I'm from the street. Now, he should have ended up in a trunk, and that's the test when I pushed that button. But I could never do that. But it definitely aggravates you to say street rules, you be dead, period. So there's a lot of that shit that goes on, and that's why you have to get therapy, because you have to internalize things that you used to be able to act on. But nobody wants to go to court for 3 years over some bullshit.
That's what I don't understand, man. Like, I hear these, like, nightmares about these accountants ripping people off. Like, I remember I seen a video where Steve Harvey was talking about, he had, like, I want to say it was like 20-something million or $15 million because
I want to talk to
year...
I want to talk to my congressman about making legislation, or a congressman that I know and that I'm close to that's down with the commission, to try to get laws that protect artists, or at least make an accountant or a lawyer somewhat accountable when they give you the wrong advice. It's just not fair. But that's how I got jammed up. Like every time I've gotten jammed up, it's from people cheating. I just wear it. But it's never been a fair fight. Like, everyone actually goes out their way to fuck my shit up. It's not like it just happens. It's people I trust get influenced by other people, and then they do things like a double agent, and they do shit on the purpose. Pause it. The banana, and even down to my child support. Like, the child support, I had it on cruise control. The money went into the account, Rachel Roy's account. She's the manager of the company. It's her job to pay herself her child support and to pay my other child support and then give me the money that's left. She didn't pay the child support. So that's how I got jammed up. I didn't know. I'm like, the money, why? How come you didn't pay the child support? I lose my standing in the company, so I can't sue her. And by the time I get to court, they push my shit to auction. And now I could never get her back for it. And she's the one that bought it. I'd be like, this shit is crazy. So, if I was so concerned about my ability to get on and I couldn't find the bright side of things, like the fact that at least my daughters are all right, I'd probably approach things a lot different. I'm just too good at starting another block. It's almost like it's less of a headache to say keep that shit and I start over than to fight over some bullshit that I'm not inspired by anymore. I'd just rather be inspired. Just take it. Fuck the money. I want to be happy. Like I'm too much of an artist. I thought it was about money, but it was more about my peace.
It's crazy, man. To hear all that, man, and to know this happens to a lot of people, bro. I'll be watching my shit like a hawk, man. I'm like, I I pay my taxes myself. I don't let no accountant pay my taxes, bro.
Too much money comes through for me to even look at it, bro. I stopped counting money in the motherfucking like '99. It just doesn't matter. I feel the same no matter what's in the bank. I don't want to know what's in the bank.
Besides, all the negative stuff going in hip hop today, what do you think about, the current artist and everything that's going on?
I mean, I'm 53, so I don't think it's really like for me to have so many opinions on what's going on the concrete because I'm not on the concrete. But I think there's the ability. I love when like artists are being more creative and just giving more than just an album, and they're giving an experience, you know. So I think the more creativity in hip hop, the better. I like that there's this movement of lyricists that are coming back. I'm happy with, I think like guys like Griselda and them have opened the doors for guys like Graf and for people to appreciate lyrics again. I'm happy about that. You know.
Right, because it did seem like at one point, like lyrics. Well, I mean, even now, it was more of like, the music was a lot, not really about the lyrics. It was definitely more about like a lot of melodies and, rapping with auto tune and everything.
Yeah. Again, I'm not that guy that be like, oh, I hate where music's at. I don't think it'll ever be. And I think like anyone that has been relevant at any time will probably think that their day was the best day and that there'll never be those kind of days recreated. So it's kind of hard to like, my generation was Nas, Biggie, Jay, Pac, Death Row. It's gonna Wu Tang. It's gonna be hard to compete with that era, no matter what. That's why it's hard for me to go out. Like, when I went out, there was no social media, there was no reality shows. You really had money couldn't get you in the club. You had to be cool, and just because almost like I fucked shit up by doing this thing with the champagne because we kind of created bottle service, or people starting to do that. After bottle service, reality shows, and social media, it got trash out to me. But that's just me because I was there when it was about being cool. You had to be really good at something. Money didn't buy popularity so much. You really had to have that swag to be social.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.